Welcome back, Mzansi, and happy Human Rights Day once again. Now we're keeping it local and lekker in the kitchen with making this Clover Sip Up Granadilla fridge tart. It is so easy to prepare and it is packed with the delicious, punchy Granadilla flavors. Now, Chef Jay, you're doing it again, sir. Getting us in on some of your pastry magic, but this time it's a fridge Granadilla tart.
It's a fridge Granadilla tart. Pali, when I was younger, I remember on a Sunday, we would all pack out these glass baking dishes that my mom had, and I'm sure everyone in South Africa has them. And one was for the roast, and one was for a fridge tart. So it's very special. I'm getting chills, and it just reminds me of home, and I think a lot of South Africans out there will really relate to this. We can
definitely relate to a good tart. We love our desserts. I mean, this seems so intimidating. Where does one even start?
So what I'm going to do, Pali, I'm going to start with the filling because we're going to need that to cool down to add to our base. You've got some melted butter and crushed biscuits. If you could give that a whisk while I start here. So I'm starting off with packet jelly, Pali.
Old school.
Humble, old school. And I'm going to just hydrate this with some hot water. And we've chosen to use the lemon-flavoured jelly because I think it pairs very well with Granadilla. Very much in season still at the moment. And then, of course, Pali, when you're making a packet jelly, the instructions always call for a cooler element just to bring the temperature down, making it easier and quicker to cool down. So I'm going to go in with some condensed milk. I think this is also just such a much-loved South African ingredient. Just, you know,
I'm pretty sure,
in the tin.
You know, I'm pretty sure everyone has that, you know, that can of condensed milk right at the back of the pantry. While we're telling you to call it, bring it out.
Yes.
Bring it all the way out.
It's making its appearance. I'm going to stir that in and you can see that it's nicely incorporated. And then to bring in that Granadilla punch, Pali, we're going to use our Sip Up, a Clover Sip Up Granadilla flavour. I'm going to go in with the full quantity. I'm going to pour that in.
Now, Granadilla is quite an overpowering flavour, but this is what we're celebrating here. We're not trying to run away from its flavour.
No, we want it in the forefront. Remember, this is a fridge tart, so we got to pack in all of the flavour. It's very simple in its nature, you know, but so we want the flavour of the fridge tart filling to really stand out strong.
Now, when it does come to Sip Up, I mean, I'm calling on you, Mzansi, to get in on all the action and take the lead with Sip Up from Clover. It is available in a range of delicious flavours, and you can also use any flavour for a recipe quite like this. So get ready to play your ace, shake it up, slurp it up, down and go. This is what it's about. Now, my crust is done and dusted,
That looks perfect. So I'm going to grab this from you, my love.
Okay.
And then I actually want you to just have a bit of a taste. We've got a taster for you over there. I want you to give it a taste.
You're quite generous in this taste test. This is what I'm talking about, friend. I'm going to keep coming to work, Mzansi.
You know, it's Human Rights Day, Pali. It's all about celebrating, you know, how far we've come as a country. And that's why I've given you a wholesome slice to really get that flavour.
Now, I'm surprised. The consistency is so good. I thought that the jelly would also... I wasn't sure how it was going to fare with our Sip Up, but actually it's the perfect pairing.
Right, and the jelly is, you know, it's a setting agent as well as adding the flavour. So, you know, you could very well use something like gelatin in a dish like this, but I think packet jelly and fridge tarts are synonymous with using just your everyday available pantry items. And jelly is definitely something that I always have in my pantry.
100%. Now that... I've had a taste. I was kind of nervous about my crust that Jay's putting together because I thought that the crust would completely fall apart. But now that you've put it in the fridge and I've had my taste, it firmed up perfectly. Yes. What are you up to?
So I've just added the mixture. So melted butter with crushed biscuits. We've chosen to go with a more coconutty kind of vibe for our biscuits. You could use ginger and... once that, you know, the butter acts as sort of a binder. So once you put this in the fridge, the butter is going to start hardening and then the crust will firm up. So you don't have to worry too much. So I'm using the back of a measuring cup, and this is a great way to really make sure that it's evenly distributed in your pie dish. I've got a little trick, Pali, to avoid the biscuits from sort of, you know, floating to the top of the mixture. I'm going to pour this over the back of a spoon, and that's going to ease the mixture into the
so it doesn't become a whole dollop that just completely disintegrates that crust at the bottom.
What you could also do is place the base the crust into the freezer first for about 10 to 15 minutes.
For it to firm up.
But as you can see, Pali, this has done its job. Back of the spoon trick, excellent for this dessert.
Nice.
And we're going to put it into the fridge for about an hour or two for it to really firm up. And what I love about this fridge tart, Pali, is even if, let's say, we've got load shedding, right?
Yeah.
The coolness of the fridge will still be enough to set this up. So this is Granadilla pulp, right? So this is also something that can be purchased at a supermarket. And then we can just actually pour that over the top. And we can actually give it a bit of a marble effect before putting it into the fridge with the back of our spoon. And that adds just to the beautiful texture and flavor.
It looks incredible, it smells great, and it tastes even better. Now, you already know where to go if you want this recipe, but it's time for us to truly get down and dirty when it comes to human rights. Do you know your facts? Well, find out shortly.